Being a father of three, I'm not supposed to have favorites. But when it comes to RVs, that's not the case, right? We have a lot of different iterations. And when it comes to the all-new College Avenue line by East to West, this one right here, the 2801, is my favorite floor plan. Why, you may ask? Well, we'll go inside in a second and take a look. But first, I just want you to admire the beauty of the outside of the College Avenue here. They did a really good job on this line. Just to kind of give you an overview, this is a mid-price point, Class C. Definitely going to be a step above your entry level, a step down from like super top tier. But they give you a lot of great features and amenities. They do a lot of good things, right? Like, for example, this has partial paint on it, which means you get upgraded fiberglass. It has Asdel on there. It's on the 450 chassis. It has a full front cap. And when we go inside, you'll see a bevy of other features. Now, the reason that this is one of my favorite floor plans personally is mainly because of the arrangement, right? When we're talking about seating. Because, well, I have power theater seats right across from a dinette and TV. And I'm a big fan of this. I personally love this. Also have an L-shaped kitchen here. And then in the back, in the bedroom, yes, that is a king bed. So I think it's pretty easy to see why I like this floor plan so much. It's nice and open. It's spacious, right? I have the cab over bunk. So if the kids come with us or, I have guests or friends, they still have a place to sleep. But again, I can't stress enough how much I love having this right here, and that is power theater seats. You just sit down, I want to watch TV because, it's going to be football season soon. Just push a button and... yeah, that's pretty great. And then right across from me, yep, there's the TV, there's a dinette. Yes, it is legless. Why is that great? Well, because now, my wife and I, again, if we have friends over, we have kids that come with us, now we can all sit here, have a meal together, play a game together, and that, of course, drops down into a bed when needed. I gotta get up, I suppose. It was great while it lasted. Something else, though, that I really enjoy about the dinette is not just the fact it's legless, but take a look at this. You have nice deep drawers here. You have 2-foot drawers, so you have good storage space. And watch this. Ready? Well, I did it kind of fast. Let me do that again. Slow motion. All right. That wasn't a very good example, but they are soft close drawers, and you have that all the way throughout, not just on the dinettes, but you're also going to have it all the way throughout the kitchen. So anytime we have drawers or doors, yeah, there we go. That's what I was talking about. Soft close all the way throughout. Another big feature, this right here, that is solid surface countertops. That's not T-mold. That is not going to be thermoformed. That is top of the line countertop in here with the countertop extension. So I have some additional prep space. Comes with the drying rack, undermount stainless steel sink, 2-tone faucet in here, 3-burner cooktop. The knobs do light up if you're into that look. And down underneath is the do-it-all machine. Basically, it's an air fryer, convection, microwave oven, cooks basically anything and everything right in there. And then if we take a look up top, of course, we have our hood plus some additional storage. I really like these pulls too. I don't know if that shows up real nice, but it's like a champagne bronze. Just really good looking pulls all the way throughout here. Honestly, the design of the whole coach, it's like, it's clean, right? The whole thing is clean. It's comfortable. It's not washed out. I just think they did a fantastic job. Another thing I want to point out is this right here. That's going to be a 15,000 BTU AC. That, of course, is ducted. But in my opinion, probably the best thing about it is not only is that going to be an AC, but this also has an electric heat pump in it. So, if it's, as long as it's not freezing out and you need to heat things up, you can use this essentially electric heat to heat the place up. It does have a quick dump option on here as well. But not only that, but if we take a look back in the bedroom, right there is a 13,500 BTU AC. And that one's going to make sure the bedroom is nice and cool. So this whole coach will be cool. And if you don't want to run ACs, you still have the max air fan right here. That, of course, has a rain sensor on it so that you're not going to get rain inside the coach. Now, if we take a look all the way up front, this is going to be our cab over bunk. I am told this has a 500-pound weight capacity. You have cross ventilation. You have windows on both sides, so you can get a nice breeze coming right through there. It also comes with the telescoping ladder, so you can get up there nice and easily. Dropping down underneath, this one is built on the Ford E450 chassis. You can see your center dash right there. That is a Sony touchscreen. This one is Sirius XM ready, has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. If you need internet, there's a couple different ways you can do it. One is going to be, let me spin. There we go. This right here. Yes, that is the Wine Guard. So if you want 4G LTE, you can get that through here, or of course you can just use a hotspot on your phone, either way. But in my opinion, probably the better option is the fact that this one outside, one of the outside compartments, will have prep for Starlink. So with that, you can just get the portable Starlink, you can plug it in, and then you can put the router in here, and you don't have any cords or anything going outside. Everything is already pre-wired, and boom, now you have internet no matter where you are, because Starlink rules. If you haven't used it, try it out. Okay, let's flip all the way around. We're going to go back here. Sorry for that. Might have been slightly dizzying. But as we take a look, I just kind of do want to round out the kitchen with the fridge. So as I talk about the fridge, a couple reasons I want to talk about this. One is the fact it is 12 volt, so it runs off the battery. But more importantly is the fact that this is 10.7 cubic foot. Traditionally, your Class C motorhomes are going to have an 8 cubic foot fridge, so it is nice and large. Move that so it shuts. There we go. It also opens from either direction. So if you're like me and you get thirsty in the middle of the night and I'm in bed and I want to water, I can get up, I can open the fridge right here, I can grab myself a water, and then I can get right back in bed. And that's pretty cool. My only issue, and let me know your thoughts, I'm 6 foot tall. This fridge is well above me, right? We have 7-foot ceilings in here. So if you're a tall person, you'll do fine. But man, oh man, that does make reaching some of these like higher shelves a little bit tougher. Now, because there is a step, I'll show you, there is a step right down here. So yes, if I'm in the bedroom, I can kind of step up and be able to reach a little bit easier. But just as a heads up, like if you're shorter, the fridge may be a little tough in the College Avenues. So we'll see if that's something they keep, something they change. Let me know in the comments. Like, is that a concern of yours, or are you like, Ian, it doesn't matter, I can use a step stool if I can't reach it, or, you know, hey, I'm 7 foot tall, it's fine, no problem, right? Flip it around. This is going to be the bathroom. You will see the porcelain bowl right down here. I always like porcelain just because it's so much easier to keep clean. Now, that doesn't mean that brands with a plastic bowl are bad, per se, right? The thing with a plastic bowl is over time it's just going to get gross, right? It's just going to be hard to keep clean, and so then you have to replace it, and at that point you go porcelain anyway, assuming you have space for it. But if it comes with a porcelain bowl straight from the manufacturer, it's not going to be an issue. As far as space, yes, I have knee space. As far as shoulders, my left arm does rub a little bit on the wall, but it's not a deal breaker by any means. I can make this my office if I have to. Right over here is going to be the tankless water heater, so you have on-demand hot water, basically limitless as long as you're hooked up to your city water. That was a weird... Look at my face, it's like distorting. Anyway, then right here is going to be your GFCI outlet. That, of course, is connected to different outlets. Just so you know, if you're ever having outlet problems where your outlets aren't working, GFCI is the #1 reason. Check and make sure this hasn't popped. You may just have to reset it. I've seen it all the time, so just as a pro tip there. All right, as for the rest of the bathroom, you can see right up here is the mirrored medicine cabinet. We have the sink right down underneath that. Of course, a little bit of storage under there. And then as we step into the shower, just kind of want to show you, again, as I said, it is nice and tall. I mean, I have so much space. Folks, I can be 6'5", maybe even 6'6", and still be able to stand in here, no problem. It also does come with the shower door. That has antimicrobial properties, so you don't have to worry about drying it off or anything. You can just roll it right back up and you're good to go. I think that is kind of a nice feature. What is that? Is that storage? What are we putting up there, folks? Here, let me flip the camera around. Let me kind of show you. So you have a little bit of storage space. I'm just curious as to what you're putting up there. Is that going to be toilet paper? Is that going to be spray? You know, I like that it's there. I'm just not sure what I'm putting up there. All right, as I mentioned earlier, king bed here in the bedroom. I really like what they've done with the headboard. It might be hard to tell on camera, but that is actually going to be like plush, right? Like it's padded. So that way you can sit up against it and be able to, watch TV if you want. You might be saying, Ian, where is the TV? Well, if we flip this back around, you will see TV is going to be right here. This is a backer, so you can mount it right there. Connections are going to be here, so you can watch TV in the bedroom. If we flip it back around here, we will see that you have wardrobe space there as well as there. I'll open it just to kind of show you and give you an idea of how deep it is, right? So you have really nice hanging rods in there too, which I like. Nice deep wardrobe. You have some additional storage across the top. But this I really like as well. It's probably one of my favorites. You do have a little cubby hole here, but you get actual nightstands and you have a little bit of storage space in there, right? Like, I don't know about you, but my wife and I put things in our nightstands, right? Like books, I don't know. I like having it. If we take a look kind of underneath here, you will see that this is going to be screwed down, so we do not have storage under there. It'd be pretty easy to tell just because we have components. But again, overall, there is really good space in the bedroom and throughout the coach. I think from the inside here, it's pretty easy to see why this is one of my favorites. But honestly, as good as the inside is, I think the outside's even better. So let's head on out and check it out. All right, before we do head out, a couple of quick things. One, our main control panel is going to be located right here. And then right down below here, we do have a couple pieces of optional equipment on this one. One of them is going to be the solar. It has 200 watts, or a 200 watt solar panel up on the roof, 30 amp charge controller here as well. And it gives you a second battery with that solar option. Right next to that, this one also has the auto level. That is another option, another one that I highly recommend. Before we head outside, I forgot, I just want to close this slide up to show you what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and close it up now. Now, as with any time with a slide, right, when you're going to close a slide, you want to make sure that you have enough power to do so. So you want to make sure your batteries are topped off, you have shore power generators running. Here, in order to operate the slide, you have to have the coach running, and then you have to have the parking brake on as well. So that is exactly what we have here, and that will allow us to move in the slide. So let's go ahead and bring it in. And you're able to see that bad boy come in right now. Now, the reason I want to show this for anyone that's new to RVing is you just want to know what your space is when you're traveling down the road, right? You want to know that, hey, you can get to your refrigerator, you can get to your bathroom, that you have a walkway. And yeah, you definitely do have a walkway right here. The thing I love about this is whoever is sitting here is going to be nice and close. Great for story time. You need to come on into the back to the fridge. I mean, you obviously have plenty of room there. You can very easily access your king bed. And of course, we can access the bathroom right over here. So yeah, in travel mode, you have pretty much full access to the coach. It's a little tight, a little bit of a tight squeeze. You can see I kind of have to do like a little side shuffle through here, but it's definitely manageable for sure. Now, what about the outside? Well, let's head on out. Okay, and now that we know we can get around with the slide closed, let's talk a little bit about the exterior, because as I said, this is probably one of my favorite parts about the College Ave line as a whole. So you can see right here, we have a front cap, and this is a true front cap, meaning that the seals are not going to be right here. It actually wraps around and back, and the seals are going to be here. Now, the reason that's advantageous is if the seals are here as you're driving down the road, all that rain's gonna get in there, and eventually it's gonna work its way in and rot out your front cap. But by having it back here, it's really hard to have any kind of water intrusion to get the water in there. So that is going to be definitely a huge factor when you're talking about construction of a quality Class C. The other part is going to be paint. Now, yes, this coach does have 3 full body paint options if you want it, but the thing I love is it comes from the factory just like this with partial paint. What I mean by partial? Well, as you can see, the cab is painted, right? It's not white. We also have black right back here. What isn't painted is going to be the white. But here's the thing, right? And here's the thing that a lot of people may not realize, is that whether you do partial paint or you do full body paint, which are gonna be very different price points, right? This is a fraction of the cost. Either way though, you have to upgrade the fiberglass. Right, you have to have top of the line fiberglass to paint it, or else the paint doesn't stick, and you can see all the striations, and it's horrible. So this right here is Lamelux 4000, which is one of the top of the lines when we're talking about fiberglass on a motor coach. So even though it's only partial paint, you still get one of the best fiberglasses in the industry, and you can see it. I mean, you know, it's the sun's going down a little bit, but you can see, I mean, look at that shine, right? Look at that reflection in that fiberglass. It's not striations, it has like that mirror-like finish. That's because it is a higher grade, higher gloss fiberglass. Another thing I love about the exterior here, especially on this one more reason it's my favorite. Yeah, you guessed it, outside TV. I know, folks. You know, we don't go camping to be on our TVs, but it's fall, it's football season. I have to watch the Lions, you know? They're gonna make it. Yes. But no, I do like having an outside TV, even if it's for like movie night or something, right? You know, hook a Blu-ray player up to it, or if you do have good campground Wi-Fi, maybe you can even have like a Chromecast or something like that. But I do like having an outside TV, just for, you know, the days where everyone wants to kind of gather around it. You'll also see that you have the large power awning with an LED light strip, and because you don't have any slides on this side, you don't have any vents on this side, that just makes great camping space. And of course that does cover the TV there as well. You also have some storage underneath. I really like these latches, by the way, these slam latches, they work really, really well. But I do just want to point out, like, these compartments, not the carpet scrap, but the fact that these compartments are nice and easy to clean. They're like a rotocast there. That's going to be your automatic relay switch, by the way. So when you go to plug in shore power, you don't have to plug it back into the coach like you do with some. It just automatically does it for you, which is great. And then you can see right there again, just, you know, that rotocast bin. I really like having that on there. I think it's a lot better than the metal, right? You don't have to worry about it like rusting out on you. You know, you can just spray it with water and it cleans up nice and easy. You'll see that you also have an electrical outlet out here. And then right in the back is going to be another nice big storage. So, you know, this is going to be probably like the biggest storage on the coach will be right back here. I mean, take a look at the size of this. Holy smokes, that's big. And you have the same size door on the other side. I mean, this is completely open all the way through. If you have skis, you can put them in here. You don't have to break down fishing poles. You can put giant items. Like when my girls were really small, we would bring a water table, right? I mean, the thing was like this big, and there just wasn't a good spot to put it. I mean, the thing's huge, right? Especially if you have little ones. Like, you have so many big kids' toys. I'm sure you can relate if you have little ones. But with this much storage back here, you're able to accommodate those things. You also, right up there is going to be a light, so if you have to get in here at night, that is motion sensor as well. You can have it off, on, or set to the motion sensor settings, so you do have some options. Rear access right here, because it is so big, you may want secondary access. Now, if we drop down underneath, you'll see this one comes with a 7,500 pound hitch rated for 7,500 pounds, which I assume you knew. And then this right here has a 7-way on there as well, so if you have like an actual trailer, you can hook that up. A car, you know, whatever, you can obviously tow a car behind this, and having 7,500 pounds means that you can have a bigger vehicle that you're towing. You will also see that you have your propane quick connect, so if you want to do some grilling, you can do that as well. Right up top is going to be backup camera, so you're able to see behind you, and then you have your rear mounted ladder, so you can climb right up here onto the fully walkable roof, dance around up there. That one does have a TPO roof membrane. It's the Alpha Ply Superflex, which is going to be kind of like the top of the line in TPO right now. And it has a lot less maintenance than like a rubber roof. It also has like 5 times better adhesion, and it's thicker than PVC, so definitely a lot of advantages to that roof. 50 amp power plug-in, because again, this one does have 2 ACs. Cable and satellite's going to be right there. You can see over to the side that this one has a light right above your water hookup, so you have your fresh tank fill city water, as well as a black tank flush to easily wash out the black tank. Then coming up a little bit further, that is of course going to be your tankless water heater. And we don't want to forget about a generator, because yes, you definitely have a generator. This is the 6,000 watt on this guy. When you have 2 ACs, you need to make sure that you have a lot of power, so you get the 6,000 watt, and then you have some additional storage right over there. And again, you can see with the slide in, it still has a slide topper on there, so that's going to be a great feature as well, and that does come standard. Now, if you're seeing this and you're like, Ian, I need to know some price and availability, I will have a link down in the description. Just know that College Ave as a whole is very new, so they're just starting to build these, so we may not have stock quite yet if this video is just coming out, but definitely click on that link and it will show you. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and until next time, we'll see ya.